Welcome to Oak City Church, a family of learners, lovers, and givers sent. For more information, visit us online at oakcitychurch.com. Let us know if we can help you in any way. Thank you for listening.
And when he had entered, he said to them, "Why are they making a commotion and weeping? The child is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him. But he put them all outside and took the child's father and mother and those who were with him and went in where the child was. Taking her by the hand, he said to her, "Talitha cumi," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." And immediately the girl got up and began walking, for she was 12 years of age. And they were immediately overcome with amazement. This is the word of the Lord.
Thank you. You know, when I hear the story, I can't help but think a little bit about a pool party I was at with my boys. Aiden's soccer team was having an end of the year party at one of the family's houses, and we were around their pool. And it was one of those beautiful May afternoons in North Raleigh. Kids were playing and laughing. Parents were chatting. Everyone was just enjoying themselves around the pool. And then suddenly, I saw one of the dads jumped into deep in the pool, and I was standing right over it, and I saw him swim to the deep part of the pool and pull his son off the bottom of the pool. And he came up, and he handed his boy, who was the smallest of the team, to me and said, "Take him." And so I took him, not realizing that he was completely out, and laid him down. I felt terrible because his head fell back on the concrete. And I looked, and his lips were blue. He wasn't breathing. I checked for a pulse. I couldn't find one. I asked another dad to check. He couldn't find one. And so I started chest compressions and doing mouth-to-mouth to this little boy. Now, this boy was about 7 years old, but he looked like he was about 4. And as I was giving these chest compressions, I was really starting to second-guess myself. I was trying to do them hard, but I didn't hear any bones cracking. I was questioning. And about this time, the dad comes out of the pool, and he's looking over my shoulder and just falling apart. And then he'll get down to his knees, like crying and just falling apart and wailing. I mean, he was just utterly helpless and going back and forth. It seemed like forever, but it was probably just a minute. And then I noticed like something in the boy's face that changed. And so I stopped. And the mom said to me, "Keep going." But about that time, I could tell he was trying to breathe. His eyes were still closed, and it was ineffective. It wasn't going anywhere. And suddenly his eyes shot open. There's panic all over his face, and he just starts throwing up. And then the dad picked him up. It was a beautiful sight. Dad was just falling apart, crying, and also overjoyed. The boy was still throwing up over him. It was messy. It was terrifying, but he was alive. I'll never forget it. It took me a couple weeks to get over the shock of that moment. And of course, then I go back and read CPR training and yeah, they changed this from 1990. Still got the job done. When life hangs in the balance, we expect people to move fast. I assume Bobby Joe's on the truck right now. So if we had something with the kids that happened, there was emergency here, I would expect the Wake Med Children's Ambulance to show up in a minute, that quick, with Bobby Joe taking over. I would expect that. Maybe another ambulance, but we expect quickness, especially when it comes to our kids, and obviously that's a good thing. But if